Gold Trip is brave. 100 to go. A length and a half Emissary. Gold Trip is going to win the Lexus Melbourne Cup. Gold Trip wins it in a real staying contest for the ages.
Welcome to Bet Doctor Behind the Curtain. Look at how pro punters operate. I'm your host, Scoot. I'm pretty fresh. Johnny Walter. Wow, it's an epic, isn't it? How are you?
Sorry, what? Hey? I've just been to the podiatrist, got some glue-on shoes put on, and I'm ready to rumble.
Oh, wow. Gold Trip. Wouldn't win a Hotham, wouldn't win the backward race, but...
I said it would win the Hotham. That was its go. Would it have won the Hotham?
Probably, Phil.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, we'll get onto that later. Nico Noonan, how are you faring, mate? Big week?
Not too fresh to give you the tip, but we're battling through Oaks Day today, so hopefully we can find a few there, and then big day racing, Stakes Day as well with the, well, I suppose it's Champions Day now, isn't it, with the Champions Sprint, Champions Stakes, and Champions Mile, so Champions Day at Flemington for the last day of the carnival.
What's one up from a champion? Like, what is he going to bring in next year?
Legends Day?
Like what's the Greek gods or something?
Yeah.
They'll all be named after Greek gods or something.
It's very petty, isn't it?
Hercules.
The championships, then Champions Day.
Oh.
You get dizzy trying to keep up with all the races.
And like Hong Kong has, I don't mind it. Okay, and the races look good, but it's Hong Kong's Champions Day, right? Like,
yeah, 2 weeks into December.
Anyway,
That's
whatever.
what I thought it was.
Who cares, really?
All right, let's talk about the Melbourne Cup. The Cox Plate form did it again. I tell you what, bookies had their foot all over this horse for quite some time. I think it was $11 when we did the preview show, but I looked at this horse's price, I think, after the Cox Plate. I think it was $13. The best I saw in the lead-ups around the traps was maybe $17 Gold Trip. They were just unders this horse the whole time. There was queries around its feet, and then I was sort of thinking, lying in bed last night thinking about this horse, and the only conclusion that I can come up with is it just needed a heap more racing to get itself fit enough. It had that tough run, Nico, when it was wide at Caulfield Cup Day and emptied out on the line. Zara thought, oh, well, this horse doesn't get the trip. This is why. It was suited on the back up, finally started to hit his straps there and get fit. Jamie Spencer slaughtered it, and here it comes out on Cup Day and just beats these other horses and was just too classy for him.
Yeah, best horse in the race. I think that's all it came down to be honest. He handled the conditions the best. He had one of the horses with the most miles in his legs, and that was how the race was run, wasn't it? It was a true sort of sustained test of endurance, and he had a lot of sort of fitness on his side coming through the Cox Plate, having sort of 3 runs in the key lead-ups, sort of high motion off the quick back-up run really well. Emissary was out of a fast run Geelong Cup, so yeah, it was those horses that had really sort of been around the traps, hadn't it? That sort of were to the fore there. It was a slog. It was an absolute slog, the Cup. I thought his win was really good, though. Like, the Emissary sort of loomed up to him, and I thought it was probably going to go past him, and he found another gear, and he kicked away late, and I don't know, he kind of did what you'd expect a true top weight to do. A horse of his class, he showed that there on Saturday. He was probably weighted right into it, but there's sort of no knocking him after the race, I wouldn't have thought.
I thought the hard luck story is probably that last rain band that hit Flemington. It put the line through Emissary. There was money for it, and then it just sort of ballooned back out in price once that last sort of shower hit. And I think the track rating was probably the thing that brought that horse unstuck, I would have thought. It's definitely better on top of the ground. You go through its form.
Yeah, I don't know.
Huh?
I just want to forget that Melbourne Cup ever happened. I don't know. I went back through.
You can't do this.
I went back to the Gold Trip.
With a head wobble about me.
No. I went back through the Gold Trip, and it's like I was like, what did I didn't miss anything. Like, as in its form, I just took a set against it because of its feet, and then like it was weird. I heard about the glue-on shoes, and they said nowhere near as bad as say bar plates, anything like that. Like, it's not a death sentence, glue-on shoes. But then after, talking to and listening to the farriers, like, well, this horse takes 5, 6, 7 days to be sound after they shoe it. That's how bad his feet are. That's why they shoot it straight after it ran in the Cox Plate to hope that it would get through the brutal veterinary procedures that they only have for the Melbourne Cup, funnily, every year. Good to see Luna Flair going around this weekend potentially. But regardless, he's obviously, he's just a freakish horse. But all the horses I liked came out of the same race he did, the Caulfield Cup, and he was the one I thought, even though he did race a little bit wide and closer to the speed, was probably most vulnerable late. So, genius effort from Ma. He's a freak to run it in the Cox Plate and then have him in here to run him in all 3 races. If you told me that, 2 months ago, this horse would get through this preparation sound, let alone be winning the Melbourne Cup at the end of it, I would have told you were insane. So full credit to Kieran Maher. I think it's probably the lowest Melbourne Cup we may ever see, hopefully. Hopefully it'll kick back into a bit more classier event in the future, but especially when Gray Marlin sits 6 wide the trip next year and just pisses up by about 15.
Oh, here we go. It's a new night's order. No, at least it's a younger horse.
At least it's adaptable.
I was concerned. $11 out to 26. I thought the horse might be dead in the betting, but again, when we previewed the...
Is that what they bet, 26 late? The winner.
Oh, yeah, it was like I went back through the thing and I'm like, oh, this horse, we said, is it going to run 3,200 metres? That was sort of the query. Mark Zara sort of poo-pooed it. He didn't think it was going to stay. And then I went back through our tapes and I'm like, it was $11 top sports price on the Sunday. And then you could have got 26 at the death. They might even bet 30s some places.
I reckon
which is
that
just
was
insane.
The Zara interview was the thing that put the nail in the coffin for me, because you're sitting on the fence. So this old mate's grading me up saying the Gluon shoes aren't that bad. I'm like... And then you hear Zari like, no, stuff it. It's just, if he's grayed up that it's not going to run the trip, and you think there's a query over its soundness, too good.
Anyway, it's good to be still standing, and it's just, I guess, another race for us. The big dance, Battler Trader wins it. Kay Lee's Rustic Steel.
God. And I just, I saw some like they're trying to spin it, whichever way they can. Oh, it's good to see a country trainer. That attends all these country meetings getting the money, which is fine. But he's not a country trainer. He's got, what has he got, 300 in work, or not in work, 300 on his books or something. He's, I think he's technically a provincial trainer, but he's not. But either way, he does take horses everywhere all the time. He is a big supporter of country racing. And old Nash, he's been asleep for about 3 months. Produced the career on it, and he produced the career on Fender. He might be back.
He's riding in Melbourne on Saturday as well, so that'd be interesting. He's got a couple of good rides there. Nico's Saturday, my little spies are saying it could be a good 4, good 3, and then maybe just fence off. I thought the track at Flemington's been playing superb, and it's just evolved nicely.
Yeah, I suppose it's sort of you're going to have to sort of watch how we get through today, aren't we? I would imagine the fence is probably going to be off today, and then sort of where they sort of get to and how wide they get, I imagine today will be the key for Saturday. If some horses are going to go back to the inside if it's a bit fresher ground, or if the outside's really chopped up. So today's the crucial day, but yeah, the weather sort of looks like it's going to be drying for the next few days. Even today, it doesn't look like we're going to get the showers that they sort of predicted. So the track's only going to dry out, which is probably what you want for a race like the Champions Stakes Day. You want the good horses on their preferred conditions, and that's a good track. Obviously, that's where they always sort of perform at their best. So, it's going to be a good day of racing.
Be interested to see a couple of form reversals, because there's a lot of heavy form floating around from their last start. So, it'll be fascinating to see how it plays out. The rolling Punters Club, we started off with 18,000, and Cup Day was a bit up and down. We had Kin, we took the early price hit, 9 into $5, no good. Just Folks, that wide, big run it. Walt tipped up Key Largo. We chimed into that, and I found Vespertine at the worst price imaginable. I thought that'll find Biggie's horse in the last. I think T-Dog's tipped it up as well, which is good betting there. And we had no luck with Mac and Cheese. The track was cactus by that stage, and that was a horse that I sort of liked at giant odds there. So we got about 12K coming into Thursday. We got She's Extreme for 2.5, Matron, Bullwinkle for a 5K result, and then I Wish I Had or something like at Ipswich Race 1. Donnie's got that rolling for a 4K result. So it's moving day for us.
I'll tell you how cast I was come the end of Melbourne Cup Day. I'm watching the races, and you had to be on speed wide. Like, I think the second last race, Carr won, didn't she? And I'm like, oh, well, she'll be in the same spot on Zethus, sitting outside the leader, round the bend. Oh, yeah, I totally forgot it was a straight race.
Oh, you did.
That's how cast I was.
Oh, God.
That's how tired I was coming into that. I'm like, oh, my God, what have I done? Oh, my God, anyway. Jesus Christ.
It is. It's crazy.
An embarrassing one, though.
I've gone from the Barocca to the Hydrolite, so I'm just battling and limping my way through. So it's going to be a fascinating finish to the Punters Club, but I'm pretty excited about Oaks Day and more excited about Champions Day or this Saturday. I think we've got plenty of opportunities. I'll be disappointed if we can't come away with the big W, and hopefully Donnie doesn't. Hopefully he can just kick along out wide. He gave us a heart attack yesterday. Where were they? Yesterday, Grafton. A. Mallion rode past the bloody candy store.
I look at it and it's like 2,100 metre, whatever it was, maiden or something.
Maroon Magic.
Yeah, it's like, oh my God, and then 15 starts or something. I'm like, oh my God, he He loves the pain. He loves going wide. He loves riding the tightrope, doesn't he?
Oh, he's crazy. He loves a female rider and he loves betting anywhere. But tell you what, when Donnie bets, they do go off. So can't wait for Donnie's best this week. And it's just nice in the Discord channel, just holding his hand and betting for the next couple of days. So it's going to be a great finish to the Punters Club. I think we're going to get the win despite John Walters' death riding. Trackscran, this is a beauty. I think Mug's been at the Bendigo Dogs. Look at this one. Roast beef, nuggets, chips, bathed, I'm going to say, bathed in gravy. It's gravy. That looks like a bad gravy, I would have thought. But $20 for that little selection
$20.
there.
Does that come with those 2 Melbourne bitters?
How would you like your veggies? Fried and chipped. And then the Melbourne bitters, I don't think are included. So Bendigo Dogs, $20. If you want to have a coronary, that's where you need to be. So I'm tipping Mug on tour. We'll be at the Bendigo Dogs.
Sump oil.
It does look like sump oil. Oh. Manscaped.com. I tell you what, I've sort of dropped the ball a bit, had a bit of nose hair, but this little weed whacker's done the trick this week. It's been an absolute beauty. The lawnmower. I haven't had time to shave down, which is pretty disturbing. Maybe tomorrow I might get a look at it because I've already done the form for Saturday, except for Sydney. You've done it for me. Well,
I don't want any more medal pictures. I've had a long week. I don't need to be thinking about you standing out the front with the lawnmower. Yeah.
Manscaped.com, Little Birdie, 20% off the code. Great for Christmas, and it travels really well. I'm not sure if you can get away with them through the airports either, but absolute game changer at Manscaped.com. As I said, Donnie, he's got a couple of beauties this week. He's got one at Friday, Kempsey. Walt, you're going all right. Tell you what, if you don't subscribe, you are absolutely out of your mind. $8 winner Key Largo Tuesday, and I think you served up another absolute moral 6-unit play. What's your max unit?
Well, actually, that's another one of my good efforts there that I forgot I extended it to 10. So 6 was the max yesterday, but I won't let that out either. But
what was it called? Beef Week Princess you backed.
Nicely backed. And then an old mate, as I'm watching it thinking, this will just win by a mile. There's only one danger that, might not run the trip. They rode it forward, so that was good. I was like, that they've just cast their chances. This will just win. And it sort of hit the front race, and then it just like stopping. I'm like, jockey comes back,
this horse is
in distress. Yeah, in distress. Like I'm very upset with its action. So I hope the horse is okay. But we got away with one by the sounds of it. So
I've never really heard a jockey say that after he's got off the horse. This horse is
not
just
one
not
that's
right.
won anyway.
Exactly. It's crazy.
Not one that's won. So thank goodness.
So you got to check out his stuff. Racingwatch.com.au. TopSport. The Steam Swerve, the Cup winner, 11 out of 26. No surprise there. But I spoke to Tristan. They laid the first 4 multiple times.
What's about 100,000?
Played a gazillion. So
are you serious? Yeah, no wonder. I was waiting for a message of, thank God we've had a good one, and no. That's brutal,
that's a sick result.
Who? Deauville ran 4th. Who's run
High
third?
Emotion.
High Emotion.
Was it like 200s?
Any price.
Oh my goodness!
It was like 60s.
Oh, I just thought I remember seeing some blokes carrying on that he ran a place of 60s. Anyway, that's still.
Bet Doctor lay of the week, beat the Doctor. I tell you what, we're in the fetal position. We just keep laying all the Blue Jacket winners at the moment. I'm not taking on Animo. I want to, but I'm trying to be nice to Nico.
Just keep running it. Just keep punching yourself in. You gotta keep backing yourself.
I think it's going to get beat on the weekend. Animo might run.
Where'd it draw? 4.
I'll take it on.
It just draws 4 every time.
I'll take it on.
4.
It was absolutely blessed in the Cox Plate, and I'll be taking it on. So we'll get to that race later. But we're gonna hunt the favourite in the Matriarch Dynasties.
You're gonna hump the favourite?
Hunt the favourite.
Is that the thing you tipped the other day? Dynasties that come up the inside.
Dynasties in
the Snowden thing. Is that the horse?
Yep.
So it ran this week, didn't it?
J Car, yeah. Dynasties.
Tuesday or Saturday? When did it run?
Just the other day.
The other day.
Tuesday.
Ran Tuesday.
Yeah.
It's Tuesday.
Popped up the inside and just. Yeah.
Are you tipping this thing, Nico?
Nah, I sort of haven't had a good look at the Matriarch yet, but early glance, I thought she was probably a bit short at sort of 460, but I thought a Tissue might be the horse that's sort of a bit deadly there on the backup.
No, Dynasty's, in my opinion, it wants a wet track, and it's going to be a road on Saturday, so I'm happy to take this horse on. So if you want to beat the Doctor, we're absolutely copying. I think Tristan's going to turn me off soon. We're tipping too many winners, and we need to get losers. So Dynasties is the horse that we're going to take on in the Matriarch.
Everyone thinks you're a genius, thinks it's a marketing ploy and you're just finding winner after winner to get him more business, and they don't realise you're actually trying.
Well, the problem is he's going to tap me on the shoulder soon and say, no more, please.
Anyone who's seen your charity betting over the last 3 or 4 years knows that you are trying. Tissue sales home. I'll be in the bushes.
If you want to have a horse to have EIPH, or if you want thumps or cardiac arrhythmia, just give us a little sneaky jump in the Discord chat.
Into the DMs.
Yeah, and say Scooty, just declare this one.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I've backed so many horses lately to just pull up.
Just pull up. Literally, just pull up.
Just die.
Just die.
And guess what? I didn't back Beef Week Princess.
Didn't you?
Oh, yeah, no. I was taking the kids to school. I was doing something. I was picking up Piper.
Speaking of pulling up, where's DK?
His cast. Just
Quietly.
virus.
What? As if he's got a virus. You know what he's got? In Melbourne Cup-itis. And he hasn't had a bet. He's the only person this whole week, because there's no maidens, hasn't had a bet. He's just had 4,000 schooners.
It's bad management, though. How can you get COVID in Cup Week? It's sort of like an AFL team.
Obviously, it flowed through Gimlet or somewhere like that. That must have been an outbreak.
It's just really it's a poor setup. Like, if you're a professional at your craft, you go and get COVID and get it months before the spring carnival. It's like a footy team that gets COVID during the finals. Like, surely in the off season you have a big COVID party.
Can't you get it more than once?
What is it?
Haven't you had it like 6 times?
No, mate. I probably have, but I don't need to dog myself in every time I go. I don't care. Play on. TopSport to win 5 all the Group 1, so make sure you have a bet with TopSport. They support us with the punters clubs, the syndicates, and obviously all the shows and the free content. Without TopSport, couldn't get all this free mail from the lads, so make sure you head to topsport.com.au and support the Aussie-owned and local blokes. Great family, the Burlehans, do a stunning job there. Champions Day, as we said, so Nico's Mounting Yard Mail, make sure you get that. But let's have a look at the Champions Sprint over 1,200 metres. That's race 6 at Flemington on Saturday. And it's Nature Strip 205. Bella Nipotina $5. Giga Kick $5.50. Palelli $26. Rockin' Horse $26. Front Page $31. Levant $31. $34 Argentia. And then Mars Crusader Rothfire, similar quote. Lofty Strike $41. And that's about the gist of the race. Let's have a look at the replay of the Everest. It feels like we've watched it 18 million times. Jack and O's on the inside. We saw it flop, Giga Kick in behind them in the white and red, and still a pretty admirable run here, Nature Strip, I would have thought. And you can just see Private Eye, who's just starting to peel off his back and Frank the
Oh, yeah, you can just see Private Eye, yeah. Good.
Couldn't win for us this day at $17. And here comes Giga Kick. Bang. Marzu. So the form's pretty true. He's really good up the straight here at Flemington. Nico, thoughts on this race?
Deep race, isn't it? Sort of the Everest rerun with Nature Strip v Giga Kick again. Gee, it would have been interesting if Private Eye had a sort of lined up here. He's probably taken out sort of a bit of the battle, but he goes to the mile race, which he may be suited in. I don't know. I think you just have to look at Nature Strip's third up record, don't you? He's had 9 starts for 7 wins. Second up, he's had 10 starts for 2 wins. 3 seconds and a third. So his third up record's obviously outstanding. I wasn't sort of reading into it too much in the Everest, but maybe it is a thing. He's just a bit flatter. Second up and third up's really where you want to find him. He bolted in the TJ, third up last prep, ran an enormous figure there. He draws really well here, barrier number 12. You think the sort of wider lanes now are getting into the best part of the straight. We saw that late on Tuesday with Vespertine. She sort of got to the wider lanes, was very strong. So, I think he's extremely hard to knock. Obviously, he's got to give Giga Kick weight again, but I don't think the tempo will be as fast here. And I think Nature Strip's probably slightly better up the straight than he is at any other track. He seems just to really go up the straight. Like, his win in this race last year was absolutely dominant. I know he didn't beat much, but he just seems to find another leg here. I thought sort of $2. I sort of was expecting more like $1.80 versus sort of $6. So I think there's probably still a bit of fat in Nature Strip's price. And I'm going again. I thought he was pretty hard to beat last start, and I just don't think the race kind of worked out perfectly for him. He got a bit taken on there by Eduardo. So I doubt that's going to happen here. He should get his own way and be extremely hard to beat.
Were those stats courtesy of Davo's mentoring, $29.95 a week, or did you come up with them?
Courtesy of racing.com. Racing on the website.
Oh, racing.com.
They show the third up stats. No one else
really
really shows them.
Different prep this time though. Shorter break, the Ascot trip. I'm not saying that it's incorrect, but I'm just saying it's a little bit different, a little bit harder to. Fuck. How does he beat Giga Kick?
I think I want to be Camp Giga Kick. I think it's a changing in the guard. I think Giga Kick's the horse I want to be on.
How does he beat him?
I just think, old 8-year-old getting deeper into his prep, even money. No for me. I'm going to put Bella Nipotina into the bin, back to a dry
What
track.
about its last number? Did you see its number, Nico? Like, I'm not a ratings man, but what the hell happened there? It's gone like very elegant in the Melbourne Cup.
It rated like the best sprinting performance of the season on a lot of databases.
Yeah.
Big margin. Obviously inflated that, and sort of she found her perfect conditions, and she's really good at Moonee Valley.
But like
her record,
it went like it too, though, didn't it? Like it. It's like, what the hell do you do with that performance?
They backed it too.
It should be favourite off that. It's just the weirdest. I just love those sorts of things.
She's in the game, like definitely sort of 650 into fives. I couldn't back her to beat Nature Strip or Giga Kick for sure. I think last start's probably a bit.
That's the thing, though.
Is it a bit like for Gazy? Was it really?
That's right. Real? Is she in the game? Because she isn't. Is she? Like, she isn't. If you think about it, she's not in the game. On that, she is. But like, what? How do you? Like, for it to be shorter than Giga Kick, I think is the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. But then you look at you understand why people come up with the.
Does Moonee Valley form transfer to the straight, especially going back to a dry track?
No,
unless you're an absolute freak show of a horse. Like,
no,
she got beaten last time. I think last time she met in this race last year, she got beaten by Nature Strip by 5. I know she's going a lot better this time around, but. She just doesn't strike me as a horse that can post a good enough figure.
Set 2-horse race.
Yeah.
It's a dead set 2-horse race. Like, would you rather back, well, actually Nico's already answered it, but Giga Kick each way or Nature Strip the win, or would you back Giga Kick the place instead of Nature Strip the win? It's an interesting, I think they're probably the answers, the question I would have to ask myself. Is there any chance
Giga Kick's flat out of the Everest? Like, we saw Jacquino, sort of similar profile, be flat out of the Everest as a 3-year-old.
It had gone 14, 12, 12. This horse has gone 11, 12, back to, what's this race, 12.
And
11,
he had
12,
a year that led up for a while, Nico. I think this horse is a lot fresher, so I think he's got more.
It's the less beaten up,
more upside than.
Brings a real fascinating angle to the race, doesn't it? Because if there's no Giga Kick here, Nature Strip's very short, and like you said, he is 8. We do need something to sort of rise and take him on a bit, but I think he's really playing in his own. He's playing in his own backyard down the straight. Like, this is where he's at his best, I reckon. And third up, I backed him last start, so I got to stick.
No doubt entitled to be favourite. I think you nail on the head there. I just hope that he backs it up and flogs Nature Strip just for racing.
What?
Giga Kick. I just hope he's a freak. I just because I even go back and watch that Bornus Notches. What he did, the jump he made in the Everest. If he sort of continues that, good for racing.
I thought Lofty Strike was a sneaky one to fill a placing. I was disappointed that he drew barrier 2. But I think this horse back to a dry surface is even better. But yeah, barrier 2 sort of puts him out of play. But I thought he would be a sneaky chance to run third. So definitely siding with the 3-year-old form here. All right, let's push on to the next race. Pretty clear cut there. The Champions Mile, 1,600 metres here. And this is where Private Eyes lined up here. 3:30, Cascadian 440, My Oberon 440, Alligator Blood 650, Mr. Brightside 10, Tuvalu $10, Aegon 26, Kiss Sum 51, and Dallasan $81. My Old Sweetheart. Let's have a look at Private Eye taking Marzu and Special K run out of his skin here apart in the 1,300 metre race, but. In hindsight, I was kicking myself a bit that I didn't step into this horse. I sort of missed the price a little bit, Private Eye, and I was just so sick that he lost the start prior at $17. I sort of
the way the track was too. So I was sleepy on it as well. My favourite bloody horse, and the way the track was racing was a bit strange, wasn't it? Like it was actually suiting him, but yeah, he's goddamn airborne. The
other replay we're going to have a look at is Cascadian. Obviously, he goes pretty good at Flemington. Over the mile, he's got some good ratings.
So he's got
there.
what, 2,000? How far was this? 1,800? 2,000, 1,800 back to a mile.
He's sort of in reverse. 2,000, 1,800, like heavy, soft. Now he's going to go 1,600. Good track. It's a real head scratcher.
Just folk, how did it go the other day?
You're just doing that to wind me up.
No, I'm serious. I don't know. I didn't see it, but I know Prometheus come out and not run well is what I mean.
He did pretty well, but he just 60 kilos, 3 wide the entire, and just I think got beaten
on the line. He's a shocker. Run really well at that race, sort of at Rosehill on Derby Day.
That wasn't a bad race either. Yeah,
I was surprised Cascadian was 440. I thought he was probably the weak spot in the market. Like you look at,
agree.
Sort of Private Eyes had an exceptional prep. Like his last 4 runs have been terrific. If you include the Stradbroke, where he probably should have gone very, very close to, eyeballing Alligator Blood there, then this prep he's been outstanding. He gets back to the mile, which I don't know. I can't work out if it's a tick or a cross. Like, I think he's going to be an exceptional sprinter if they want to run him that way, but he did win an Epsom at a mile. It's not like he's a pen job over this trip. So,
well, you got him coming up and the others that are beaten up a little bit coming back. So it's a really funny one, isn't it? Like trying to line them all up.
This My Oberon, see him in the yard at Moonee Valley, was like 70% fit and still come out and absolutely bolted in. Thought this was a big win, ran an enormous figure on punting form. I think it was looking back through 16.8 lengths above overall. That is,
but really most of that was in the first half, wasn't it? Or to the 600.
Yeah, it was sort of. He did it both ends, really.
I mean the race. Yeah. But
look at the way he just powers away here. And then you go, okay, well, he gets the blinkers on as well. So he could improve again off that. I think he'll only improve from the yard. So
scary.
He had some really strong overseas form lines, and it was, I think they didn't run him in the Cox Plate, looking him in the yard, because they probably didn't think he was fit enough for 2000. He's got a good second up record. I don't know. The way I was kind of viewing the race is he could be the sort of fresh blood here that's, real sort of potent. I thought it was between him and Private Eye. I would have loved to see Private Eye go the sprint race, and you probably could have bet up my Oberon here. If I was sort of in charge of the bet doctor later the days, I reckon it probably would have been Cascadian take on the blue again. I think
it'll continue to blow for sure.
He's won his last two, but he's beat Just Folk, and the Hill Stakes was nothing. Comes back and trip like last time it was at 1600 meters. Flemington, Alligator Blood dead set lapped him, and he's sort of $6.50. He has to be in the race. Mr. Brightside's come back and trip. Aegon was enormous first up in the Munga. Tavalu won the Turak last start. Like, this is an exceptional race.
And he's going to be last, probably Cascadian, you would imagine.
Like, I think you're paying the J-Mac tax, aren't you?
I wouldn't take 20s. Wouldn't take 20s.
I think you've nailed. Yeah, I can't add any more. I think you nailed it. We're looking at the race exactly the same. The only other horse that I've got a lot of time for is Kiss Some, and he just looks, again, I'm gonna say it, big odds to place. $8. Kiss Some.
Ever since you've been spending more time in your Discord and you've been getting a bit of mentoring there, you've come around to the place a bit more, aren't you? More of a place man.
Big odds to place.
You like betting into the 190 of the place or whatever it is, or 600 or whatever it is.
Someone asked me, they said, "Oh, why don't you bet Mac and Cheese the place, or why don't you bet Kin the place?" Well, Mac and Cheese the place. Mac and Cheese, no one wanted to be on it. The market was $26 out to 51. Silly me chases it out because I just thought it was crazy odds. But how can you go into a race like that with Mac and Cheese?
Cut back to the inside.
Well, that's exactly why I didn't back at the place, because the fence was off, and I was just hoping that I could, pull one out, or Huey could, and just sort of fluke a 50s chance. So
back to this stupid race. Geez, it's ended up a great race. I love these sorts of races.
It's a cracker.
Yeah, because just the different angles. See, if I didn't hear what Nico said there, I would have near wanted to be right against it.
Who?
But he's my Oberon. But just saying that there's huge upside blinkers, as he says. Super strong horse. It's just a great. Even Mr. Brightside can improve. Alligator Blood's going to get it soft in front with Tuvalu, sitting there as well. So as you say, inform horses in all positions. Kiss Some, I wish it had stayed in Sydney, but it is flying, and it's just a big price. They're both not great betting races from my perspective, as in, you can't be super confident, but they're great races, great angles, turned out really well. I'm not even siding, I'm not being silly, but Melbourne racing has there's been a couple of nice races in Sydney, but most of them have been pretty horrible. These races are, got angles and depth and, good theatre. Realistically,
Alligator Blood, a race like this just keeps him up, doesn't it? He probably would have gone to the paddock after the Cox Plate, but now they go, there's another sort of race for him, like Mr. Brightside. They've all been in the sort of weight for age races, and they're not even first and second pick here either. There's sort of a bit of DF that's sort of come through. So,
they're back to more suitable races if they were prepared for them. That's right. So, you say, and you don't know how they're going to respond to. That's it. Isn't it weird? And again, not a ratings person, but they were rating up into their sort of the mile. Then once these horses got to 2000, they all dropped back a bit. And I think it all makes sense. They're just not 2,000 metre horses. So it's great. What a race.
Fascinating to see my Oberon. Sets up the best out of the horses coming heavy to the good surface. But yeah,
that's the only other little scary thing. 70% fit. And another reason why they may not have run in the Cox Plate, and given that extra week, is maybe it was just a flat off that. It might have gone better than they thought and just took a little bit more out of it. But no, she's doing a good enough job, Neesham, to trust that this horse will be on song.
Definitely going really super with the imports, that's for sure. Annabelle, so all right, hopefully we haven't graded you up too much, but
that's a grey up race.
Well,
That is a big grey up race.
Why is I'm Thunderstruck not in that race? Why did it not drop back?
I would have thought it should have dropped back.
I thought it would for sure.
I know they took a long time to sort of process what they were going to do, and so they had a good think about it. Zaki was supposed to be in that race as well, but obviously maybe Annabelle's gone on my Oberon's race, and he can go stay at 2,000. I don't know, but
why could they have not gone in both? I'm Thunderstruck. Like I just see they drew 8 in the 2,000. You think if it had a
scratch to see.
Well, you would have just maybe hedged a little bit. It wouldn't have been silly. I wonder if because it's not as if they got full fields, but maybe that's just 20/20 hindsight.
Back him up, race to race.
I don't know if you're allowed to go in both in the Group 1s.
Yeah, I don't know either.
I don't know if you're I think in the handicaps and that you can. I reckon there might be some ruling against it to do it in the G1s from memory.
Well, if they're full fields, fair enough. Make a decision. But if they're not full fields, you think you just want them to be open to.
The market's with him in the Champion Stakes. They're thinking he can turn the tables.
So is that just in the same state? So it's in Victoria. You can't go double Group 1 whammy.
No, I think Nico's a bit the same. So I think he's not sure. Maybe every race has a different set of criteria what you can and can't do.
We'll move on. Race 8 is the Champion Stakes. Nico's pin-up horse, Animo, $2 favourite, in from $2.15. Blown my mind. I'm Thunderstruck, $4. Zaki, $8. Moanga, Walt's favourite horse, 12 into 950. Elliptical, $16. Hinge, $19. Mr. Maestro, $21. Maximal back to a dry track. Yippee, $34. Mustang Valley,
I smell a place bet coming.
Banker's Choice got the Maya Oberon form. Hello, $61. And then here's a shocker. Tell you what, he was something beat, but he gets Ollie. How's Ollie been going?
Ollie.
Sorry, I had to put it in there. A bit nasty from me. Let's have a look at the replay of the. We're not having another look at the Cox play. This is just heartache. You got Jamie Spencer, absolutely.
If Gold Trip was unlucky in this, I'd be following it wherever it goes.
You got Maximal. I tell you what, Maximal gave everyone the fright of their life, but he's like, oh no, this is too wet for me. You got Zaki just plugging away, remembering that he's 8. Ollie on El Bogadog. I think that's what gave DK.
I didn't even know that Maximal was in this race until that 4 seconds ago.
And here comes Moanga. Have a look at that run on Jobby from Moanga. Absolutely beautiful. Just surges to the line there.
Back on the inside there was unlucky sitting up late.
Who?
Gold Trip.
It's a Gold Trip. Anyway, it feels like it's just, I was having nightmares about Gold Trip last night. Don't know how you guys were. Fascinating one. Go on. Tell us why Animo's a moral, Nico. You love this horse. Let us hear it.
Gate 4. Same thing happens again, doesn't it? Thunderstruck gets too far behind him, has the whole straight to run him down. I've gone back and watched all Animo's replays. There's nothing in its career that's ever run him down. Like, if he gets headed, I think he will fight back and fight off another horse. He just does what he has to. That's how he wins his races. The only race he's ever bolted in was the Rosehill Guineas. And I don't think there was only 5 in it. The other 4 didn't handle the track. Like every other race he sort of had, he just gets there, pricks the ears late.
So it hasn't run at Flemington, has it? Never run at Flemington. That's the only.
Never been to Flemington. No.
It's weird. Yeah. You would think would suit it.
Yeah, he has that sort of action, doesn't he? Where, he didn't really get around Caulfield that well. So you think getting to Flemington would be a big tick for him. Nice sort of big track. And you look at his good track record. Like, he's never missed a place on a good track. Well, he has. First start, he missed a place on a good track, but he got way too far back with Ollie on. Scooty's man. Apart from that, his good track record is probably better than his stuff on the wet. So, yeah, I thought I'm just going to take the mug double. Nature Strip into Animo. I think they'll both win. So I just don't think I'm Thunderstruck's as good as him. I think that's going to be my line. He had every chance to beat him in the Caulfield Stakes. That's the line, not the Cox Plate. Like, the Caulfield Stakes was run to I'm Thunderstruck to suit. He didn't sort of come off the bidders early. He sort of headed him, and Animo still kicked back and beat him. So I think that's more the line than the Cox Plate. No doubt he's a ripper horse. I don't want to bag him too much, but I can't see how you could take sort of $4 I'm Thunderstruck here when Animo gets the perfect setup again and he's beaten him his last 2. So that's sort of the angle I'm taking. Didn't think anything else could win the race.
You got a problem here, Nico. I think this is the race where Animo could put 6 on him. So this will be the day he gets beat. This is the first time I'm like, can't see how he possibly gets beat. So this will be the day something he doesn't run the trip. Like, if he was 6, what price they bet? Like $2.30, $2.40 last start. He should be like $1.60 a year. It's Yeah, for me anyway. I don't know. The Flemington has to suit. This is softer race, perfect draw again, dry track. Yeah, far out. So take that with caution. First time in my life I'm thinking it should be shorter.
Yeah, I'm completely grey here, and I don't know what to do. I don't really want to touch Animo. I'm thunderstruck post grand final. Moanga, flashy run. Don't really want to touch it at $10.
They haven't had hard runs. None of them.
No.
I'm Thunderstruck hasn't had a hard prep. Animo hasn't had a hard prep.
Elliptical. Ugh.
Elliptical. That form can't be the right form.
And then I sort of wonder what Christopher Waller's doing with a horse like Hinged.
It's
Can she run 2,000
unplaceable.
metres?
It's unplaceable, the horse.
She might run a place, 370.
No, I think you'll go Maximal the place.
I think Maximal's probably the only possible bet that I could have at $34. This horse, going super, absolutely hates the wet track, sort of loomed up in the Cox Plate. Cox Plate form's Melbourne Cup form. And back to a dry track, this horse just won't know itself. So I'm going to have a tiny little fun bet on Maximal.
Did you have a look at the thing Tim's riding at all, Nico? This thing...
I was just going to ask you about it because it did run second to La Creek, who everyone was just sort of piled into there last Saturday. And we come out since that and he bolted in the Livermore Classic, which is kind of like the New Zealand Cox Plate equivalent. He did start 2:30, won by 5.5. I was wondering if you had any mail. I don't know.
Honestly, I just saw Tim was on it and I assume, I don't know the horse at all. But then I saw La Creek and I think that was a complete forgive performance last week. Like it was just the wrong set of circumstances unfolded for that horse.
You have to take out like what the market thought of her. Like they were happy to back her into $1.70. So obviously there's some sort of ratings in those New Zealand Group 1 numbers that they're looking to find. I thought he was it's a mare actually. I thought she was an interesting runner.
I think that's even better if it's a mare. And yeah, if you say all these horses are stretched to their limit at 2,000, not saying they're not high class performers at 2,000, don't want to get the trolls out of the bridges, but this horse obviously eats up the 2,000, so maybe it's a horse worth looking at, similar to Maximal, like a value option for exotics and stuff.
Big odds to place, Maximal.
Big odds to place.
All right, if you want some of Nico's stuff, make sure you check out the Mounting Yard Mail. He's on fire. He's got an avalanche of a following now. Everyone is a believer. Puntingform.com.au is the sectional data we're reeling off with the high benchmarks. How does Bell and Nipotina run through brick walls? How do you see that benchmark figure? You look at puntingform.com.au. It's an absolute...
I'll help with Nico too, because I hadn't... Well, you put me on the list there a while ago, so I love looking at it. Even when I'm not betting in the races, look at the market, look at Nico's thing come through. And you can... Even someone who doesn't follow Melbourne as much as I do follow other areas, it does fill in a lot of the boxes. So it's not even if you don't just want to know what he's backing outline, he'll give you insight into other horse in the race, things that will just help you add to whatever you're doing, and you can't recommend him more highly.
That's the thing. Like I remember Nico saying, it's such good information when you say, Giga Kicks not at his top here, and then you see him like pop out like 2 weeks later. My Oberon, that insight, like you're just not going to get that information.
And you hear a little bit of it here for these races we talk about, but this is talking about every race that he covers, and it follows on, like it follows on for weeks, months. There's things that you pick up in there if you're sharp enough to note things down that may not help you in that race, but they'll help you in half a dozen races down the line.
Good little pearl that. Yeah, I often go back 2 weeks and go, I wonder what Nico said about that favourite or that horse at Caulfield, a fortnight ago. I dig through and I can find it there in the Telegram group. So make sure.
The beauty of him is he's sick enough, and I mean this with respect, that he does he knows all the horses, and he can he does actually get to know the horses individually, which is nearly impossible to do if you're not living and breathing it.
Outstanding stuff. Pretty good polish there, Nico. Probably the best you'll get all week. Rosehill race 5. I don't know what the meeting is this week. The 5 Diamonds.
Oh, mate, don't ask me. What is the 5 diamonds?
What even is it? Yeah.
Isn't that out of the Ocean's 11 when they steal the diamonds off old Al Pacino out of the roof or something? Is that where he's got it from?
It's got me absolutely buggered.
Yeah, I don't know. What did they say? Someone posted the thing yesterday that Tasmania's got the richest race on poly or something. So that's his next goal. Oh my God.
Build a poly track and then destroy it.
Yeah.
For prize money.
Oh my, they said, someone wants them to build a synthetic track at Cessnock. Apparently, it's got no running rail anymore. They stole the running rail to help to upgrade the running rail at Mudgee. So that'll be out the window. Oh my God! Go Racing New South Wales.
I tell you what, Rudimental was good though, and the 100k investment,
Mate, who's Rudimental?
unreal.
The average age of person in that mosh pit, apart from the one dude who was up on the shoulders with the fitness selfie, was dead set 16. Anyway, whatever. Engaging the younger punters, my crack hole.
No, I thought it was good. If they actually just halved the prize money for all these pop-ups and then got more bands like Rudimental, I'm saying it's a good thing. I'm allowed to have my own opinion and be positive.
No, yeah, I'm not worried about Rudimental. I'm saying, 20% probably still gets the same fields.
I want less big dance prize money and more little dances scattered across all the race meetings, if anyone can follow that.
We just got to find some horses to run in these races. Just get around a few for the 5 diamonds and the little dance and the big dance. It'd be an absolute fill-up if you're an owner, sort of a few of these horses, because you're getting so much overs compared to 10, 15 years ago. Like those horses would have been lucky making, 200-300k in their career. Now they can make 2 million without even winning anything decent.
Yeah, like Cisco Bay. What's Cisco Bay? He's like a listed horse or something like that, maybe a Group 3 horse. And I don't know what he's made this prep, but yeah, for sure. It's but it's just so weird, isn't it? It's just so weird, and it's more luck about being eligible, and it's pretty crazy. But anyway, it is what it is. Good luck to the owners who capitalise on it.
All right, let's have a look at Rosehill Race 5. Devil's Throat is the favourite. This is the Furphy handicap that we're going to have a look at. This is Walt's first one. Devil's Throat 440, Foxfighter 460, Per Inaway 550, Kobe Rock 750, Bend the Knee 950, So My 11, Broken Arrows $13. He's a hot shot $13. And that's about the best of it. We're going to have a look at the trial of Bend the Knee.
So its first trial was pretty good. Second trial looked pretty average. So then obviously weren't happy with it. Back to the third trial here. What I like, it's a trial, but this horse actually has got pace. And what I'm praying for is that they use it on Saturday, because it is drawn 10. There's Devil's Throat's drawn 9. I think it's sort of forced to roll forward. So I'm just praying that Reggie's on his bike with Devil's Throat and rolls forward. And then this horse, what's it got? The trial, whatever. We'll watch the trial. I'm not even going to watch the trial, but trial's fair enough. But this horse has got, I think it was first time. Hang on, I've got to check this because I haven't got my note, 93,000 notes. First up last time, he got beat 5 lengths by Marzu. Not many horses are getting that close to Marzu. Then Ford, and that was on a heavy track first up, not ideal. Second up, heavy track again, got beat 1.6 by Valana. Again, nothing in this race is getting you within 1.6 of Valana. If this horse rolls forward and is within striking distance, or the track's playing, like it was last week, probably, the rails out a little bit further, you definitely want to be up there. I think Foxfighter's absolutely flying, but I think it's just runs 1,200, if it does. I think it's an 1,100 metre horse. Devil's Throat's a dead set midweek, just a Saturday horse. Per Inaway's first up. I don't know what it is. It won first up last time in with every possible, had nothing more to give really after that. This is the horse in the race that has a bit of class on its side, potentially at least. I think it's been gelded. Can you tell me that? It's been gelded as well. So, yeah, I think if it rolls forward and gets put in the race, I think $10 is just a potentially crazy price, but it's definitely a risky one, if that makes sense. You could have egg on your face, but I think it's a bit of a. If I had to mark it and say it was at its top, I'd mark it $2.50.
Wow. John Walter, aggressive pricing.
Yeah, but I'm not going to say. But then if it goes back to last, it could make you look stupid. It could just not ever be put in the race. But, if the hunch is right, I think the price is big. So I think it's worth taking the risk on.
Well, you just steam into the 383% market there, the place, and take the 290. If you
well, that's definitely what I wouldn't be doing. I think this is one of those. It's definitely not a 1x44. It's definitely more a 44x1 for me.
Love it. All right, bomb fresh horse, Bend the Knee. It's got huge form first up and trialled well, so hopefully Nico doesn't stop it on us. So that's an absolute.
Yeah, well, I'm looking back to its form. I found it stakes day last year. I remember fighting it, and then I greyed up, and I didn't bet. It paid $9, and I backed it every run since, and it hasn't got near it. So
it's a weird horse. It's just a weird horse.
You look through his SP. It's he started 440 in the Queensland Guineas. Character wins that race. Dark Destroyer both. I think they're both close to Group 1 winners or Group 2 winners. Character started $9 in the Toorak. The Valana form's strong. Even the Bacchanalia form's pretty strong for a race like this, let alone Mizzou. So, like I said, I've followed him for a while. So maybe I'm due there with him on Saturday.
Everything's vulnerable for me. Everything in this race is vulnerable, as in either just runs the trip, class-wise average, or just not set up well. So hopefully get on your bike, Reggie. Give it a kick.
The time-honoured 5 Diamonds. Ellsberg's a favourite here, $2.40. This is race 8. Laws of Indices, $4.80. Ayrton, $8. Uncle Bryn, $8.50. Diamil, $9.50. Rustic Steel, $14. Sabac, $19. And you can get much better the rest. We're going to have a look at the Golden Eagle. What is it? The Silver Eagle. I don't know what it's called. This is the lead up a couple of weeks ago, and Ellsberg's the winner here. And
What was this race?
Pardon?
How far was this race? It's like 1,500, isn't it? It went 16 back to 15.
It's the warm-up race to the Golden Eagle or whatever it was, and he just toughs it out here and gets the job done nicely here. Ellsberg. This is the form race for it and Ayrton, so he gets the job done over him. And then the other replay we're going to have a look at is Uncle Bryn winning the Sale Cup. So
I think this is the one.
Yeah, this is an interesting one. So they chose to ride it absolutely dead cold this day. I was lucky enough to have a couple little sneaky bets on this horse, but it's just peeling to the outside here. I think D Moore's on it, and it just absolutely lets rip and puts an absolute hole in them there.
Look at it there, like holy goodness.
Look, it's just like it looks like a different horse. So I poo-pooed this horse
action. Holy crap!
After the Mooney Valley, but I think this horse has got some ability. 3 starts back at split Smoke and Roman's Gold Trip, and then beat a Misery home, but I think they've finally found the key to this horse. But then I see Rachel King on it, which absolutely puts the wind fair and squarely up me.
It's just the worst sort of horse for her to ride.
D Moore, I thought, oh yeah, that's perfect. But then he hasn't followed the horse up, which is alarm bells for me. And then you've got R King on it, and I'm thinking to myself, well, Laws of Indices is just
is it going to run here, or is it in somewhere else or not?
No, it's there.
Not in Melbourne as well. No,
I think she decided just to go to this race.
Okay, cool. Well, no, it's a
this is perfect for it.
Yeah,
dry track. 1,800 metres, just I think it's the perfect distance that it wants, and if it hasn't been flattened by the Cox Plate,
12 gate. If it drew a soft draw gate, wouldn't you just be just about declaring this horse? If it just drew a soft, like how would they beat it? If it drew a soft gate, it's just where it's going to be. What do you think, Ayrton?
Ui's on it,
Nico.
Yeah, I'd be against Ayrton at 1,800. I thought he loomed up like he was probably going to win that race, sort of over the mile, and then he didn't really stretch out, did he? I don't know. I don't think he's ever going to be the horse everyone sort of thought he was going to be after the injuries he sort of went through, or the time off he had, I should say. So, yeah, he's not going to rate back to those ratings of last spring or even the spring before that. So, yeah, I think he'd be better suited coming back to say 1,400 than 18, but. A mile might be a sweet spot, but you got Ayrton at $8, you got Uncle Bryn at $8. I know he won the Sale Cup, and then you got 480 Laws of Indices. It was pretty unlucky in the Cox Plate,
and the race before that. Holy heck, how good! What was that ever? That
he ran enormous in the Toorak. He's a bit hard to ignore here for me at $5. Like
it should be favourite.
Ellsberg will give him something to catch for sure. Like he's as tough as they come, but
could be fainting too, right? He could be fainting at the end of 1,800.
Yeah, can he actually run 1,800? Like everyone was like, oh, can he run a mile in the Epsom? The last start he dropped back and trip probably a tick. Now at 1,800, you'd be thinking, I would think you'd get closer to $3 than $2.50.
Full control he had in that last race too, coming back off the mile. Absolutely perfect. He might get full control again here, but it may not matter. I wouldn't be surprised that if Law of Indices started favourite here.
I think it'll get absolutely, completely hammered. Laws of Indices.
Yeah, especially the late go in the Toorak. They smashed it. So the horse is obviously airborne. It's run well in the Cox Plate.
It was off the map in the Toorak, wasn't it? I remember watching the flux. Like it was like 21 into 12.
In the last 5 minutes, right?
And late too, not throughout the day. Like,
did you back at the place there, Nico?
Go away. Did you back a private eye at the place in the Everest?
No, but I unloaded on Law of Indices the win as well in that race too. Yeah, I think Law of Indices and Uncle Bryn are the two here. Diamel's an interesting horse, but way up in grade. Rustic Steel couldn't win if it started now. Sabarks doesn't have the class. The rest of them don't have the class. Yeah, if it flums a spot, like if Bowman follows Ayrton, very similar to that other race we just talked about, and just slots in fourth.
That's what he'll try
to do.
Could
be times and margins.
It'll start
Who's
with
on Law of Indices?
Bowman.
Perfect.
Oh, okay.
It'll start with a 3 in front of its name, I'm sure.
You think Rachel King could just lead by 6 on Uncle Bryn?
I don't know.
Just light it up. Just give it the full
I thought to myself, when I first looked at it, I thought, oh, no, Rachel King's on it. And I'm like, oh, it's probably perfect because she'll slaughter it. And then laws of indices, we just shove all of the bank in.
You should put the GIF up. It's the best. I mean, with the head out the window, oh, it's the best.
It's Jeremy Clarkson in Top Gear. We'll tweet out the GIF of Rachel King.
Oh, it's the best.
The Jeremy Clarkson Top Gear. It's basically the wind hitting. I can't really do it properly, but it's outstanding. It's from Walt's Chat Group. It's a beautiful thing. Rachel King.
Shout out to those poor people who backed that. What was it? What was the horse that she carved last week where she took off? I don't know what it was, but anyway, good luck to her. She didn't even get a start in the poor old Ellen Hennessy's back to rider school, and she didn't make the stewards report.
If you want more, what's the word?
Shout out to Danny Jackson.
Hair splitting commentary and I guess no holds barred on trainers, jockeys, whatever. Racingwatch.com.au, and there's a heap of people in there that have got similar savage views.
Objective. We give positives to negatives. We just try and be fairly realistic.
And if a chat group's not for you, you can just get on the Telegram group, so all that other noise can go away, and you can just get the beautiful refined oil out of Walt via Telegram as well. So if you don't want noise and you just want gambling, you go Telegram. So it's beautiful.
Less noise.
Speaking of less noise, Donny's best. Let's see what the Don's got this week.
G'day, boys. Johnny's here with this weekend's best bets. Last week, mixed 16s into 5s, ran second. We took at the place as well, so happy with that. We move forward to this week. I'm backing one in the support race of one of Australia's greatest meetings. It's the Kempsey Cup on Friday, and I found one in race 2. It's called Willinga Charisma. It's a really good horse. At Scone, first up, it got a bit of interference, still finished off well. Musselbrook last start got held up, ran the best final 2 of the day. Barrier 1 here, doesn't look to be much else in the race, so $2.35. It seems fair, and I'm happy to take it. On Saturday, we go to Dooman. I like one in race 4, number 3, Enterprise Attack. It's a really strong horse. I hope Boris Thornton leads them here and leads them at a solid tempo. If he does this, I think he'll take the sprint out of the rest of them, and he'll be the strongest late. It's currently about $3 with TopSport, but its starter and its figures aren't too strong, so I'm expecting it to drift. So I'm thinking around $4 to $4.50 is the right price. So I'm going to back it with the top fluck on TopSport. I like that horse. I think he can win, but we'll just wait and back it late. So the 2 bets this weekend are Kempsey, race 2, number 6, Willinga Charisma, and Dooman on Saturday, race 4, number 3, Enterprise Attack. Good luck, boys.
So I don't think that Donny's a vampire as well. He doesn't sleep. If he's turning stones over at Kempsey, wowee.
What day is the Kempsey race? What day? Saturday?
Tomorrow, Friday. Today's Thursday.
Friday.
Tomorrow. Kempsey
so hang
Cup.
on, he's gone. So you've had Saturday, Tuesday, Melbourne Cup Day, Thursday, Oaks Day, then you got Saturday, whatever, and he's already done Friday.
Yeah.
He's the best.
And then Wednesday, it was all over Wednesday as well.
Wednesday, and yesterday. Yeah, that's right, and Grafton and...
He mustn't speak to his missus. Do you speak to Beck much?
Yeah, I go, oh, what's for lunch? And then she's at the end, she's like, oh, can we spend some time together? I'm like, listen, seriously, I'm that stressed out. I'm anxiety. I'm tired. I got that much to do. Oh, you're fine, aren't you? That's pretty much every night.
Doomben race 4 is the other one. Enterprise Attack. So he's going Ashley Morgan, Chris Lees, Willinga Charisma, Kempsey Cup race 2, and then he's gone Doomben race 4, 3, Enterprise Attack, and then he's trying to tell everyone to take Top Fluck. That's just a real weird scenario, that one. Boris Thornton on. I tell you what, if Boris's horses are on, they usually get backed off the map. Top Sport team. We'll just march right along there. Saturday, beautiful. Flemington race 1, number 14 is French Emperor. 1100 at $5.50. Nico.
David Payne thing?
Used to be David Payne, now Price Kent. They've sort of had a few runs with him now. I think he's going for 3 on the bounce. One at Geelong last start. There's been, $5.50 to $4.80 with TopSport in a race where there's a few sort of hateful horses that have been going around and sort of shown ability but never lived up to it. So I can see why the early market sort of identified him.
I like that term.
It's
hateful,
yeah.
I like it. That's exactly what they are.
It's a skunk race.
Yeah.
The interesting runner here that I thought Gay would just have Castlereagh Kid completely wound up.
Is that the the Singo horse? Or
the Singo horse, Schnitzel Absolute Joy. She'll just have that absolutely screwed down. Nash Hot, bang, 1600 first up. There's my
pretty
winner
good
in
horse.
Flemington.
Pretty good horse.
I'd be back in that. I'd steer, and I haven't done the race, but $7, I just go bang there.
It's a strange time for her to be producing that horse, but it's a very good horse.
Taunting's the next one. Flemington race 9 at number 6, J-Mac. Michael Hickmont. They're starting to run through brick walls, these Michael Hickmont horses, I'm noticing. 440 into 330 here, and the bet is 2,000 at 380. Nico, anything?
No, we backed it last start. It was a complete moral beaten, so I can see why the market wants to go with him there. I will say, I think Joyful Fortune is a double acceptor. I can't remember if he's out today or sort of saved, but he's 370 in that race at the moment. So if you're back in Taunting, there's probably going to be deductions if Joyful Fortune does run today.
Looks like it is running today.
Yep, so there'll be deductions there, but he was outstanding last day. He's been outstanding this prep. J-Mac going on. You think he's only going to improve. I'm just so sick he couldn't get up last day. It was one of the sickest watches ever at Moonee Valley. He still nearly won, and he had no luck.
Rosehill race 9, number 4 here is I Am Me. Ooh. So we've got 2,000 at $3.40.
Is Hypothetical still in? The Friedman horse?
Hypothetical's in the last on Saturday at
that's why I was just checking to see whether it's coming out of, because he asked me to have a quick look at the race. So I think I Am Me's one of the probably 2 best setup horses there. If Friedman's horse doesn't run, it'll probably go very close. I Am Me. They'll just sit on that winning verse. Who I liked it last week, but I'm just starting to think that maybe it's a bit of a pack chaser. So the I Am Me and Hypothetical will probably get the cold sit on it, and one of them will probably win.
Ushka. Yeah, interesting placement there, Marius. It's I Am Me. So their money's it's now $3.40. So good bet there of $2,000 for confidence. All right, I tell you what, the feast Thursday, Saturday, and then we'll need the paddock for a couple of days. I would have thought after that. My head's going to explode.
Just looking forward to the sanity of Armidale and Musselbrook and these sorts of places prevailing rather than having to scan your eye through all these million races. But it's a great time of year. Great time of year. Trying to work out what horses are targeting what races like goddamn a tissue, like you just got to try and line them up. And it's good. It's a good fun time of year, but it is tiring.
Beautiful. All right. Hopefully we've found you a couple of winners there for this Saturday. Good luck. Thanks for supporting us. And make sure you head to TopSport, give them a go. And we'll see you next Thursday. Hopefully we've all made it through.
Hopefully DK will be back, and well. And everyone, if you got, roses you want to send him, Nick will send you his address, his private address. If you want to hand deliver him, we can organise that. Most
people have probably just turned the show off after 10 minutes. He's the most popular on the show, so I don't know why I've even persisted with it. Good luck today. Good luck today in the next couple of days, Nico.
We'll need it. We'll need it for sure.
Good luck.
We'll be right. It looks better. It's punters time now. Bookies have had their run. We'll bounce back.
I've done a bit of Walt pricing today on a few horses. So
up and about.
$21 chances, I think, that are morals. So hopefully we can get something out of them.
Absolutely.
I think I've got a sneaky one on Saturday. Walt pricing. Nico, before we go, just hear me. I think Sadler's set one up. Flash Feeling. Any chance? Race 2?
The biggest moral in the world today. It was like dead set, a $21 moral, and it didn't get a run. So it's got to be a chance on Saturday. But today it would have just won, I reckon. But I'll have to be on Saturday. I'll have to be on. But today it was just the best bet of the carnival, I thought.
That kills me because I was saying the same thing. It absolutely looked cherry ripe to peak here at 1,600, and I am just absolutely in the cupboard. Just
didn't get a run. That's even sicker.
And now on Tuesday, the horse that I thought was a sneaky one is that Woods or something on Saturday. I thought that was a query horse, the Henry Dwyer thing with B. Melamon. Nico, we need a sniper and Aesop. Just kill them both.
Woods went on a really weird sort of day at Geelong there, so I haven't done the race sort of intently yet and dived into it, but Flash Feeling was set up to run a big race today, so I imagine he's going to be going well on stakes day no matter what.
Anyway, hopefully we found your winner, and we'll see you next week. Bye.